If you're installing door casing like this and you have to rip it down to fit between the door frame and the wall's not perfectly straight, which none of them are, let me show you the perfect way to get the perfect cut on your trim so that it fits perfectly to the wall and you got the perfect reveal on your door frame. All right, so I'm trimming out this door, I'm putting up the casing, but in this case, I'm gonna have to rip down the casing because there's not enough room on the wall. This wall though is not perfectly straight. It's got a bow in it, and so we wanna cut our casing to match the bow in the wall. Very tricky to lay out, you can't measure it, you have to trace it. Let me show you how to rip it down accurately. Check it out, I'm tight at the top and I'm tight at the bottom, but as I go down, you can see this crack opening up and it gets pretty bad here. And there it's tight at the bottom again. First thing I wanna do is I wanna lay out where I want my trim to finish on the casing. So I've got my combination square here and I've got a 1/4 inch sticking out from this end. So now I can put this up against the casing and I'm just gonna put my pencil here and I'm gonna trace a line. It's 1/4 inch. All right, remember this compass that you haven't used since about 4th or 5th grade math class? You wanna get it out and we're gonna use this to measure how far from the wall over to our line that we just made, and then we're gonna transfer that to our trim. This is how the trim goes on the door. We want to flip it backwards so we can transfer our line. So I'm going to set my trim up here. And now I'm going to go to the wall. I'm going to do it here where you can see, but I'm going to do it about every 6 inches from the floor all the way up. I'm just going to put the needle up against the wall and put my lead from my pencil right on my line. I'm going to start right like this. Adjust my compass to match the wall. Right about like that. Come over here. Transfer that onto my trim. Now I'm going to move down about 6 inches. Adjust your compass to match the new position. Come over and make your mark on your trim. All right, now we've got our marks about every 6 inches. And now we're gonna take it outside and cut it. All right, so we got our board here. We can see our marks right here. Now, I'm just gonna take a straight edge and just connect the dots and make a line for me to follow with the saw to cut. Okay, so now looking down here, you can see I start almost in the middle of the board, and by the time I get down to the other end, you know, I'm right up on this edge. So now we've got the shape of the wall translated onto our trim. The bad thing is we're on the back side. So when we make our cut, we want to make sure that we're favoring the outer face of the trim so that it touches the wall before this back side does. And so in order to do that, we're gonna have to tilt our blade this way when we cut. Cutting it this way is important because if the back of the board touches the wall before the front of the board, you will see a gap. I'm just gonna tilt my blade just a couple degrees this way. Now I'm just gonna cut on the line. Now naturally, every project has these headaches that come up, and you need a quick solution to keep moving on your project. On this, my saw will not fit on my trim. I can't cut on this line because my the bottom of my saw won't sit on the trim. It's just gonna wobble all over. So we need a quick, easy solution. Let me show you. I've cut this little piece of like 3/16 plywood, and it'll fit on the bottom of my saw. And now my saw will fit across the trim, nice and flat. Just gonna tape it in place and we'll get working. We got our trim now, it's been cut to the contour of the wall. El momento de la verdad, the moment of truth. Just fit it up, push it tight. Oh man, it fits like a glove. Now this isn't nailed up yet, I'm just holding it by hand, but look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me push this in a little bit, close up any gaps. But, oh yeah, it turned out great. Let me get it nailed up and we'll take another look. Now look at that beautiful trim. Fits to the wall perfectly. I've got my 1/4 inch reveal all the way down.
All right, after a hard day's work, it's time to chill in the hot tub. Let me know in the comments below if this video helped you out and if you got any tips for me. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time.